If 2 milliliters of zinc nitrate, silver nitrate, and the mystery substance are combined with 2 milliliters of sodium chloride, then the solution that reacts the same as the mystery substance will be the murder weapon, because when solutions react the same, they are the same solution.
Hypothesis 4. If the molarity is between 0.07 and 0.13, then the murderer will be Mrs. Waterhorse, because her prescription of zinc nitrate has that molarity. Safety first! Wear your lab goggles!
Measure 2 milliliters of silver nitrate in a graduated cylinder, then pour into a test tube. Afterwards, label the test tube. Then, measure 2 milliliters of zinc nitrate in a graduated cylinder and then pour that into a test tube. Label this test tube as well. Last, measure 2 milliliters of solution D in a graduated cylinder and pour this into a test tube. Label this test tube as well. Measure 2 milliliters of sodium chloride in a graduated cylinder and combine with one of the test tubes. Repeat this process for each one of the test tubes and watch the reactions that follow. Take observations.
These observations show that the mystery substance was zinc nitrate because zinc nitrate and the mystery substance had very similar reactions, whereas silver nitrate was different. Next, a 50 milliliter beaker was massed on a scale at 28.84 grams. After that, 2 milliliters of the mystery substance was measured in a graduated cylinder and then poured into the beaker. Then the beaker was placed on a hot plate at level 5 and the liquid began to boil. Once the liquid was completely evaporated, it was taken off the hot plate with tongs and massed again at 28.87 grams. In order to get the mass of the substance, 28.84 grams was subtracted from 28.87 grams to get 0.03 grams. Then, 0.03 grams of zinc nitrate was converted to moles to get 0.0002 moles of zinc nitrate. After that, 2 milliliters was converted into 0.002 liters. In order to find the molarity of the mystery substance, 0.0002 moles of zinc nitrate divided by 0.002 liters of zinc nitrate left the molarity to be 0.1. Because the mystery substance was zinc nitrate, Professor Penguin, Mr. Rabbit, and Colonel Mustang were crossed off the list, leaving Mrs. Waterhorse and Mrs. Longhorn left. However, the murderer was Mrs. Waterhorse because the molarity of 0.1 fit her description of having a molarity between 0.07 and 0.13.
Alright, guys, you guys need to be quiet now because I am going to talk.
3, 2, 1!
Okay, guys, today we'll be learning about stoichiometry. S is for starting with the limiting reactant and solve the excess reactant. T is for the second step is to subtract the amount of excess reactant needed from the amount given to find the amount left over. O is for oftentimes you have to balance the equation before you calculate mole ratios or to do other steps. The equation will not always be balanced for you. I is for it involves applying everything we've learned up to the point in the course. So it's really important to understand all the previous taught material. C is for calculating the amount of excess reactant needed to react with the limiting reactant in the first step. H is for have to use dimensional analysis because we need to use dimensional analysis. Okay, I is for is difficult at first, but once you figure out the process, it's much simpler than it appears to be. O is for, of all the steps, knowing how to set up the problem and understand what you need to find is the most crucial part in order to complete the problems. M is for mole ratios determine the amount of reactants needed and products produced. E is for excess reactants are added to ensure that the other reactant, limiting, is completely used up. It is a cheaper and more common chemical used in the reaction. T is the actual yield divided by the theoretical yield and percent yield. Oh no, theoretical yield equals a percent yield. Okay. Reactants that are limiting reactants are used up and determine the amount of product produced. Y is for you should step up a step-by-step instructions to help you solve the problem and remember the process. It makes it so much easier. And it's stoichiometry.
Woo!